The Kentucky Bourbon Festival going virtual for the first time ever, and we've enjoyed so many years there, Randy, of course, in Bardstown, Kentucky, and the region with the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. It's Randy Prasse, the president of the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. How are things going with the virtual festival so far?
Well, less than ideal as far as the big scheme of things. We'd love to have everybody in Bardstown on the Great Lawn, sipping with us, enjoying that fine American spirit.
Right.
No, otherwise, short of that, it's going very well. I mean, last night was our opening night, and we had 3 or 4 sessions, and they were very well attended during the live premieres, and then the viewership has just continued to roll. So it'll be a good weekend, we feel.
Well, back when we started attending the Bourbon Festival, I think it was one of the only bourbon festivals in the country. And now, obviously, it became a real model, and so many bourbon festivals are out there. But obviously, this is the original bourbon festival for those of you joining us that have heard about it. Hopefully, you've been to it. If not, this is a real chance for people to get a taste of Bourbon Festival. Again, the online events are free, right? How does it work?
Absolutely, and thank you for that. This is our 29th year. Next year, obviously, we're ramping up for the 30th, and we hope it's going to be live. We're planning on live. We're planning on everybody being with us. But in the short term, we're coming to you. We're coming to living rooms around the world. Hopefully, we're audience building. We are turning people on for the first time. People have never heard of us. Are excited. So what you do? We've got 20 different segments. 4 of them ran last night, so we've got 16 left. A range of foodie culinary pieces. We've got some cocktail quickies to how to make a drink and play along at home with us, but then we've got a lot of really cool educational pieces. The 5-part series on the art of whiskey making, from distillate fermentation through aging through bottling. So you can go online to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, kybourbonfestival.com.
Yep.
Or you can go directly to our ticketing partner, which is Eventbrite, and search Kentucky Bourbon Festival. You register for free. You get an email confirmation as if you were buying a ticket to go to a show. You get the email, you click on that link, and it takes you right to our YouTube channel. So that's important if you want to be a part of the premiere of each of these segments. You need the link, you need the registration. Or you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We'll have links available for that all weekend. Through social media, everything is just search for Kentucky Bourbon Festival. And then once the segments premiere and you're part of that first run, then they'll be evergreen. They'll be on the YouTube channel for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. So if you can't watch it right now, you're working, you've got kids, football games, all the other pumpkin patches and all the other fall fun things to do, you can always come back and watch us and join when it works for you. So
you watch it live, engage with it live, or if you can't, you can come back and watch it. That's so important. And again, if you're watching this, if you have any questions for Randy about the Bourbon Festival for this year, ask them below, tweet them back. Obviously, we want to say we always love to support the Bourbon Festival. So help us support it by sharing this video, liking this, retweeting this right now. I came the first Bourbon Festival, I believe. I'm going to have to look back.
Wow.
I think 05, 06. I mean, this is right when we started Bourbonblog.com. We did a bourbon documentary. We premiered our bourbon documentary back many years ago at the Bourbon Festival, and it's always been very special to us. So it's fun to look back at some of these videos that we captured many years ago. I look like I'm a kid, interviewing the distillers and having fun with it.
Old as your mind lets you get, Tom.
Oh, that's right. No, it's fun. It's fun to look back at these and see all the people we've met over the years at Bourbon Festival through Bourbonblog, and so many great people coming from around the country. But it's going to be fun this year. Obviously, we're going to miss seeing y'all in person, but to actually log on and be able to be part of these seminars. What seminars are you really looking forward to?
Well, and I admit I am kind of new to this part of the industry. I've been involved with craft beer festivals. I used to work at the Kentucky Derby. 30 years of doing festivals, but doing the craft and getting into the distilling pieces and the bourbon specifically, I'm very much a student. So I'm looking forward to watching, and I stood there while a lot of these master distillers were kind of crafting what they're going to be talking about. But I really am enjoying the 5-part, the art of whiskey making. I mean, it literally takes it from the grains, actually before the grain, from the field all the way through enjoyment when you're, we've got the bottled and bond pieces.
Yes.
It's been fun getting to know all the distillers. So, I mean, I like that. I also know that there's the collecting aspect of it. So we've got Justin's House of Bourbon coming in and doing some talking about how to buy and sell legally, how to care for your Dusties. And
Right.
and then, of course, you got the Blantons and, the single barrel, the Knob Creek, so there's some of the unicorns of the bourbon industry. So I'm enjoying sitting back and being a watcher, sitting and I'm following along, drinking along at home, and have my Glencairn going. So it's fun for me to do that too.
Having a little sip there from home. And someone just asked, Victor asked, is this a single day event? This lasts for several days, doesn't it?
It started last night. It'll run all tonight and tomorrow all day, and then it runs into Sunday, which is there's one paid opportunity. You can buy a VIP ticket. So all of the bottles, all of the master distillers involved in the whole weekend's festivities have signed their bottles. So we're giving them away on Sunday, as well as we're getting into the barrel pick program. So we are giving away one seat on the 30th anniversary Maker's Mark barrel selection panel. So you can absolutely join us for free registration throughout, or if you want to be a bourbon VIP, you have that opportunity also. And those are all through the kybourbonfestival.com. But no, absolutely. Tonight, starting at 6 o'clock Eastern, we'll do the same thing tomorrow afternoon and evening. And then Sunday, we've got a couple of afternoon specials as well. So all weekend.
That's cool. You get some ways to bourbon it up all weekend with the Bourbon Festival. The VIP ticket, what's the VIP ticket get you again?
Well, it's $150, and you get a 2020 T-shirt. You get 2 Glencairn glasses in a box set. You get a challenge coin, which is kind of a cool little fun thing. So and posters, and so all of that will add up to the $150, the retail of it. And then you get a chance to get to enter to win one of the 15 bottles that are featured throughout the whole weekend. So you don't get all 15, you get one. So you get a 4 Roses, or you might make the Maker's Mark, or you might get the Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Right.
And at the end is that the big Maker's Mark panel. There's one of 6 seats available, and it's a whole day experience. Chef Newman Miller from Maker's Mark Star Hill Provisions will actually be making lunch for the panel. They'll pick us up. They'll take us out to the distillery. We'll sit there and do all of the fun things, picking our first barrel ever next year, 30th anniversary. And we've never gotten into the barrel picks. So everybody's very excited about this.
That's so cool to think it's been 30 years. Really started off, from what I hear from some of the folks that were there early on, started off very small, but then it really grew just more and more. And hopefully, being virtual, this is another way for it to grow. And for those people that experience it this year to say, hey, I want to come to Bardstown next year. And the Bourbon Festival has always done a lot. I mean, it's a nonprofit. It contributes to a lot of great charities. That's what it's all about.
Well, we in and of ourselves, we're a charity. We're a 501c3 charity, a very small organization that puts this big show on. But it's always been about focusing on the Bardstown community, showcasing all the cool things. And this community has really grown in the last number of years, along with the industry, the bourbon industry. You see all the new restaurants and the reinvestment, the bars, the hotels, a lot of new hotels coming on. So it's one of the challenges of being in a smaller town is you can't get a room sometimes. Well, we're changing that. So it really is kind of cool. It's always about the people. I mean, there's no way that we're going to try to make this seem like it's as fun as being there together and being able to clink the glasses and enjoy a bourbon together. But short of that, we're doing everything we can to showcase the community, showcase our capabilities, and the direction we're going forward is truly to make this from a community-only festival to a world-class bourbon experience. So that's kind of the transition that we're doing.
And you mentioned getting a room. I mean, this is something where people would come in, and they always have. They've come in. It has been sometimes difficult to get a room, and because there's so many people coming in. But in response to both bourbon tourism and also the Bourbon Festival being a big part of that, being a destination event, really the first destination event that encompassed all the distilleries in that region. What's that look like now? I mean, hospitality has grown as a result of this, the Bourbon Festival, right?
Absolutely. And we were started off as kind of a combination of a community celebration for all the bourbon distillery workers, warehouse work, the families. They'd all come out and have a big celebration. Like in the old days, the company picnics, they just collaborated. And then there was the tourism component where we needed to do something in Bardstown that was going to attract the visitors to come in and experience the town. And I mean, we were doing it before bourbon was cool. I mean, it was in that we talked throughout these segments with the master distillers about there was a big period of time, a whole era where bourbon wasn't that cool. And we started doing this, and the industry has gone a lot more sophisticated. The consumers, as you know, and programs like this help that. Some of the consumers are more sophisticated than some of the distilleries. I mean, it's very cool to watch that rise. But at the core of it is still, it's Bardstown. It's stone's throw away from 10 of probably the top distilleries in the world are right in this area. And so we're definitely but we're Kentucky. So it's not just Bardstown, we're Kentucky. So you get out into Lexington and Frankfort, all over the state, there are a lot of really cool craft and kind of up and coming distilleries that will also be showcasing going forward.
Well, the amazing thing is how I first found the Bourbon Festival. I think it was taking a trip with my parents when I was at the Old Town Tavern, and I went next door to the Bourbon Bar, and someone there this was many years ago in the early 2000s, said, you got to come some point and check out our Bourbon Festival. And the next year we came with our cameras and decided to start a little documentary, which grew into the blog. And I remember back then when there were still a number of people, but it wasn't like, as you said, bourbon was just not quite cool yet. It was beginning to get cool. And now we see, now there's these traditions, these people we've enjoyed seeing year after year at the Bourbon Festival. And the numbers that you guys get, like last year, how many people came to your festival? It's big, I know.
Well, it's big, but I mean, it's tough because we're a free event and a community event. So you did have the people coming out of the walls, out of the woodwork from the local community to celebrate with us. But then you had the visitor numbers, people coming in and buying the premium ticketed events as well as enjoying it for free. So, I mean, I really don't I've never been a big attendance kind of guy. I'd rather focus on, the experience. And so were there thousands of people there? Absolutely. But the distilleries and the festival is a marketing tool for them. It's all about sips to lips. It's all about getting new consumers in front of them and getting them to be loyal to their brand as much as one can be loyal to a brand when you're dealing with an industry like this. But also to take and open people's eyes to new products that maybe they've been a Beam drinker or a Maker's Mark fan or a Heaven Hill, but they're doing a new bottle and bond, or they're doing a new twist on something. They're finishing it in wine barrels. I mean, all of those kind of things. That's really the role that we play.
You're doing a great job. And again, for everybody who wants to be a part of this, you either log on here or go to Eventbrite, and you can get your ticket. And while you're at it, you're watching Bourbonblog Live. So I want to make sure everybody knows, like this video, share it, subscribe to our channels, and make sure you bookmark this. We definitely will check back in with you guys at some point in the very near future to kind of see what you're looking towards for the 30th celebration for next year. What do you obviously you got to get through this one first, but what do you have in mind for being in store for the 30th?
Well, the cool thing is, and I don't mean to imply that my job is easy. It's fun doing a bourbon festival, but as far as easy, but when we planned this year's festival that was supposed to be going on live right now, we're basically agreed that this was a good move towards the direction we wanted to go in the future. So it's on the back burner, it's simmering. We'll be able to pull it back to the front and then re-execute and get it going. So 30th anniversary obviously has some extra fun things going on. I mentioned the Maker's Mark barrel program. We will be announcing, and hopefully we'll be able to partner with you. We've got a number of distilleries that we're partnering on next year for barrels. Those details are still going on. So people will be able to go to retail and buy limited edition 30th anniversary Kentucky Bourbon Festival products that we've never been able to do before. The World Championship Bourbon Barrel Relay that everyone loves. I've always wanted to grow that profile, get it on ESPN, get it to be truly an international. So I've reached out to Scotland and Ireland and Canada, trying to get like a true team from each of these countries and really make it cool. So I hate the cliches of bigger and better, but I mean, better and more bourbon focused is what it's going to be more of a serious event for 21 plus adults. less of the community event with the bouncy houses and all of those street festival kind of things. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just we're really wanting to focus and put the bourbon in the spotlight. And we know we've got a world audience that wants to come to Bardstown, Kentucky, and celebrate with us. So that's what we'll be doing next year. That's what we were going to be doing this year, and we've got a good stride towards that this year.
That's incredible. And just for the people that have been, I mean, there's so many lifelong friends that I have made at Bourbon Festival and reconnected with. But if you've been to Bourbon Festival, tell us down below maybe what year you were at or one of your favorite memories from Bourbon Festival. There's been so many fun events that we enjoy going to, the gala every year, or whatever it might be, or the Boots and Bourbon. We look back and we think, what was our favorite event? So many good times. So tell us down below, whether you're watching this live or later, let us know what one of your favorite events is. Randy, you guys are doing awesome. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm going to definitely log on to some of these this weekend and check out what you guys are doing. And I already got a little whiskey in hand here, a little Kentucky bourbon in hand.
I wanted to, but I didn't do that yet. But
well, only if you want to. You can pour a little bit. You probably have You're getting ready to. You want to crack open that Wilderness Trail is great stuff, isn't it?
It is. It's amazing, and this one is it's the out of the 100th fermentation, and
wow!
And it's signed by Shane and Pat. So these are the kind of things that we're going to be giving away on Sunday as part of that VIP package. So
that's so cool, and that VIP package, that'll also what people contribute to that will help support the nonprofit.
Absolutely. And we have a scholarship fund that benefits high school students that are families of distillery workers. So that's always been a soft spot in my heart, is the scholarship and educational piece. So as we go forward and get out of this COVID, where we're actually back out on the grounds and we're generating, revenue from ticket sales and everything, we're going to be focusing more and more on the charitable component of what we're doing. But this year, like so many others, we kind of have to be our own charity and make sure that we're, doing what we can to consistency. The longevity is one of the definitions of success. So we've got the longevity. We just need to keep going, because we are in a spot where it's very important for the industry as well as the consumers, because we bring them together.
That you're doing such a great job. And I think given what you're working with, you guys have really come together with the distilleries in a powerful way to put together something that's world-class, and already some events that I know will be some of our favorites. And well done to you. Again, that link.
You mentioned that. Yeah,
go ahead.
The distilleries coming together. This entire program, this entire weekend would not be possible without the distilleries stepping up. There's a true expense. And if you've seen any of the segments or you start to watch these, this isn't a YouTube with someone with a phone. We've got 3 cameras, we've got microphones, boom microphones, studio lighting, but we're in the distilleries. So it's a full production. It costs a lot of money to bring this quality. The distilleries are helping us underwrite it. Some of the non-distillery industry sponsors, Cutter Construction, Music Construction, Canton Cooperage, Independent Stave. So the whole industry is really, once again, like they've shown like no other industry, the collaborative nature. You've got Four Roses and Maker's Mark, Heaven Hill and Jim Beam sitting together on a couch talking about their trade. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. And that's where I'm really excited about it, because it is truly collaborative from the top down. And we wouldn't be able to do it this weekend without that collaboration. So people, as your people are watching what we're doing, keep that in mind, that the distilleries are putting all of their competitive natures aside for these brief moments and coming and helping us talk about the bourbon that everybody loves universally. So
they do. And I love how they all work together. So many good people, those distilleries that we've really been so honored to work with for so many years. I think going on our 15th year at Bourbonblog, and just, all the names you mentioned there. And we appreciate Independent Stave Company also. They're a sponsor of ours for this live broadcast we've been doing since the pandemic. So well done to everybody. And tell you what else I'm going to be doing, Randy, just to kind of go back in time. Over the weekend, we'll probably post a few videos that are archived. And if anybody wants to watch some of our fun archive videos of us running around when things were very new at Bourbon Festival, log on to our YouTube channel at Bourbonblog. But definitely go to Kentucky Bourbon Festival or Eventbrite. Sign up for those. It's a perfect opportunity to have something that's so special for the industry, but it's free. and you get it all this weekend. Randy, thanks so much for joining me from Bardstown, and keep in touch with me and let me know how this goes, and we'll do all we can to help you as things move along this weekend and as things move along in the future. And I hope that I get to see you real soon in person for a bourbon.
That would be awesome. And thank you for your time, support, and everybody watching. Thank you. And check us out. And keep an eye on us over the next couple of weeks. We'll be making announcements for next year for the 30th. So we're not going to just go away and then be gone for months. We're going to be around.
Keep after it. We like that. You got to keep after it. And Randy, congratulations on all you've done. Keep up the great work there as the president. This is going to be, how many years you've been at this?
This is my first year here.
First year, okay.
Yeah.
What a fun way to start your first year.
I've planned this festival 3 different formats now. We're finally.
I know. Oh man. You're doing a great job for your first year, Randy. Really well done.
Thank you.
Cheers to you, buddy.
Cheers, man. Thank you.